From beautiful San Francisco, California, once again, it's time for Braves baseball. A gorgeous Saturday night here on the banks of McCovey Cove as the Braves and Giants hook up in the middle game of our three-game series. Hi again, friends. Welcome back to the broadcast booth with my partner, Joe Simpson. I'm Chip Carey. Let's see if tonight's the night the Braves can get on the board. The Giants won 7-0. Atlanta had some early opportunities, but could not break through against this San Francisco ball club. And tonight, it's Mike Foltynewicz's turn to pitch, and Mike's off to a good start on the road trip.
He started the first game of the road trip down in Arizona and went 6 innings. He gave up a few runs, but after a rough start, first couple of innings, he settled in and had good stuff. You're seeing a repeat, really, of some pitches here, going upstairs for strikeouts, breaking balls down and away for strikeouts. He had good stuff. He'll need that tonight against this San Francisco ball club, a team he beat earlier this year and pitched a good ball game, also going 6 innings. You'll notice there no walks in Arizona and 7 strikeouts. It'll be very important for him to get off to a good start in the first inning.
No Brandon Belt, no Buster Posey for the Giants. Hopefully that will help Mike Foltynewicz and the Braves even up this series at a game apiece tonight. From AT&T Park, where another sellout crowd will gather on a beautiful 66-degree night. Gentle breeze blowing out toward McCovey Cove in right center field, and partly cloudy skies forecast for the rest of the night. The Giants have taken the field. They're trying to win their 3rd game in a row, something they have not done since early July. The Giants start play tonight, a game and a half behind the Los Angeles Dodgers, who beat the Cubs 3-2. And as we mentioned on our pregame hit, it was supposed to be Jake Peavy pitching tonight, but that's Albert Suarez instead.
He was called up from Sacramento. He was actually in Fresno and had to drive up here to get here in time for tonight's game. 2-0 at home, as you see, a very good ERA. 26 years old, 6'3", 235 out of Venezuela. He pitched against the Braves on June 1st. 3 runs allowed in 5 innings in his first major league start.
The Braves were shut out last night. They ran themselves out of a run-scoring chance in the first inning, had the bases loaded in the second, couldn't break through against Jeff Samardzija. And it's virtually the same lineup for Game 2 tonight. Ender Inciarte will lead off. Ender with a .279 average, 3 homers and 23 knocked in. He extended his hitting streak to 7 games with a hit last night, and we are underway.
Giants pitchers have a streak of 22 straight shutout innings pitched, including 9 innings last night. .91 to 94 fastball, curve, slider, changeup.
And he's promptly gone 3-0 to Ender Inciarte. Last big league start for Suarez was July 3rd against the Diamondbacks. He gave up 2 runs in 6 innings. His last 4 big league outings have been in relief. And he's given up 6 runs in 7 1/3 innings over that stretch. And he walks the first batter. Good start for Atlanta tonight. And that'll bring up Adonis Garcia. Adonis had his long hitting streak snapped last night with an 0 for 4 performance. He's still hit safely, though, in 9 of his last 10. And there's his first strike of the game. Got to find a way to score some runs against the Giants. Braves have played them tough, but are 2-3 this year against them, but have been shut out in 3 of the last 4 head-to-head meetings. Be nice to take care of that here in the first or second inning. Ender with a good lead, and that's off the plate. Trevor Brown, the catcher tonight.
Posey given a night off, and then Brandon Belt scratched with a stiff neck.
Ready pitch there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
What a changeup.
We start tonight an hour earlier. As you look at this ballpark, look at those shadows. What effect does that have in the early innings?
It's a little hard to see. Yep. Lights are on. Won't help a whole lot for a while.
And Adonis didn't get that. So a swing and a miss retires the Braves' third baseman. 1 on, 1 out. And first baseman Freddie Freeman's coming up.
A couple of real good changeups back to back there. His last start at AAA was at Reno 5 days ago. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs allowed. But he won the ball game.
Freddie's had a good road trip. He's 7 for 20 with a couple of homers. And this is another park out west where Freeman has done a lot of damage. Nice to see him rifle one here in the first inning. 26 homers, a new career high for Freddie. He's knocked in 62.
And he's up to 290. That's a great recovery.
Corey Blazer said that was low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Talked to Freddie after the game last night about his back, which he injured in that tumble against the Diamondbacks down in Phoenix. He said in the early innings it was a bit of a challenge to stay loose because of the cold, raw weather here in San Francisco. But as the game progressed, he said it felt better and better. And by the time the Braves finished up the game, there was no noticeable effect.
He said he feels it's more like a bone bruise than a muscle contusion. It's sort of the touch, but not much else.
Pop fly toward left. And Angel Pagan is there. He makes the catch. Inciarte thought about tagging, but he'll hold it first. And quickly 2 outs after the leadoff walk. And that'll bring up Matt Kemp. Kemp may be wearing a Braves uniform, but for these Giants fans, he's still a Dodger, which means they're going to boo him every time he comes to the plate or touches the baseball. A .279 lifetime hitter in 81 games in this park with 42 RBIs. And a strike called.
Eddie and Inciarte were talking to Stu Surewater about that move. They may have seen a little bit of a balk move. In other words, a little bit of a twist before he turned.
Well, I suppose she might be taking a look at replay. And they won't review it. No balls and a strike for Kemp. One aboard, 2 outs, first inning. That's been his best pitch.
Yeah, he's gone from 93 on his fastball down to 79 or 80 on his changeup. Very effective against Garcia. Let's see if he doubles up on that.
One ball, 2 strikes. Another close play at first.
It's a good lead for Ender, and that's about the max that he can go. One step and a dive back, and that's been a close play.
Strike 3 outside corner, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. A generous call has Matt Kemp shaking his head, and the Braves are out of luck in the first inning with a couple of strikeouts. Mike Foltynewicz ready to go. No score. The parcel of property here in the China Basin at AT&T Park, and Mike Foltynewicz will try to claim the circle at the center of the diamond tonight in Game 2 of this series.
Well, that bottom line there, the 7 runs of support have been instrumental in him being undefeated over his last 4 road starts. including that start at Arizona. 6 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs. His 4 keys to pitching success: pitches through 3 innings. In Arizona, it took him 20, then 21, then 25 after his team had given him an early lead. Also, composure. Don't let the little things get to you tonight.
Denard Span will lead off for the Giants. He was 2 for 4 last night, and the first is in for a called strike. Span and Pagan have gotten red hot for the Giants here in August. This one's golfed down the line and will bounce into the seats. The Giants have not been scoring a lot of runs. Last night's game has been somewhat of an exception. But slowly but surely, guys up and down Bruce Bochy's lineup are starting to heat up a little bit. They close the gap in the West to a game and a half pending the outcome of tonight's play. As a slow roller's hit to first, and Freeman will make short work of Span. There's a good start for Fulte. A ground ball out, and 1 man is down. Span's hot. Angel Pagan is hot, including a homer here last night. But as we mentioned a few minutes ago, no Posey, no Brandon Belt, and no Hunter Pence in the Giants lineup for game 2. We'll see how Mike Foltynewicz can benefit from that.
That's significant that Belt's not playing, because he's 4 for 9 with 2 homers off of Foltynewicz in his career.
We might see Hunter Pence tomorrow afternoon. We'll have to wait and see. He was quoted after the games last night as saying his hamstring feels a lot better. So we'll wait and see. That one is just a bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Nine homers, 43 knocked in for Pagan. And ball 2.
First inning at Arizona, he gave up 2 hits, then got a double play. Second inning, 2 hits and a run. Third inning, 2 hits, a hit batsman, 3 runs allowed, and it took him a ton of pitches to get through those 3 innings. That's what he'll hope to avoid tonight.
Well, that was free and easy, that pitch. 97 miles an hour. And in a good spot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a late swing by Pagan at 98 miles an hour, and he's got his first strikeout tonight. 2 up, 2 down for Joe Panik.
He only gave up 1 run. Well, that was a beauty. 1 run to the Giants back on May 30th. 6 innings, only 3 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts.
Panik hitting third tonight. He's got hits in his last 7 games. And Mike is a pitching machine so far. Lots of strikes. No swing. And a grounder hit towards second, and the throw from the outfield grass. Easy play, and boy, that's exactly what Mike Foltynewicz needed. A 12-pitch first inning, and the Giants have retired in order. Giants, as you'll see on our Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light.
Last time they allowed a run was the 4th inning Wednesday at Los Angeles. Today is Saturday, right?
Yes.
Today is Saturday. It's been a while. Time to put a mark on the board.
I think it's Saturday.
Yeah. Road trip is a road trip.
Yeah.
You know, you get near the end of the road trip and you can see the bottom of your suitcase.
And we're going to see the bottom of our suitcase again on Thursday.
Yes.
A quick touch and go homestand for the Braves. 3 games set with the Padres. Then we head to Philadelphia for the Phillies, then the Nationals again.
I think I'll just do what Tom Short used to do, and that's just when I get home, just take my suitcase out of the car, leave it in the garage, pick it up on the way out Thursday. Let's go.
Get after it. Yeah. Now, is it true, first as Markakis bats, is it true that Greg Maddux would go on a Western road trip with just like an over-the-shoulder carry-on bag for a 10-day trip?
Yeah, I think that's right. 2 pair of underwear for a 10-day trip.
Come on.
Yep. Into 5 days, turn them inside out.
And one,
you do the picture.
And one in case of emergency. Oh my goodness. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Nick Markakis, who pulls it to first. Connor Gillespie filling in for Belt, makes a nice play to his left, and there's the first out. Well, we've got some great acoustics in the ballpark tonight. You can really hear the pop of the glove and the crack of the bat. Some solid contact for Nick there, but he's the first out.
Beautiful day. Temperature actually got up almost to 70 degrees.
And downtown was alive today. Streets were packed. And a lot of folks wearing their Giants gear. A few Braves fans sprinkled in too. And this will be another sellout crowd. As Tyler Flowers bats with 1 out. He had to look back at Corey Blazer.
This is a perfect look here, Chip, at the baseball. See how dark it looks, even though you've got that bright background. Pitcher's still in the shadow. You're in the shadow. There's nothing bright shining on the baseball, not the sun, not the lights yet, to give you a glow of the ball.
So I'd assume
dull.
So I'd assume spin is the most difficult part to gauge.
It is, because you can't see it. It's just a dull gray mass coming at you. That's a great camera angle for that.
2 balls and a strike. And Flowers bounces it foul. So in the early innings, until those shadows at least creep out toward the warning track, you might see some funny swings from both hitters.
Yeah,
both sides
I would actually say until the lights can take effect, you know, that will brighten that area around home plate.
Another bouncer foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Third time Suarez has been called up from the Giants minor leagues to pitch for Bruce Bochy. And a ground ball hit towards second. That'll be easy. And the second out. Second ground ball out for Suarez. First chance for Joe Panik. And now Jace Peterson will be the hitter. Jace has a hit in each of his last 3 games and is batting .257 for the season. He's 3 for 10 so far on the road trip. Had a good cut, foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Little tapper in front of the plate. Brown will pounce and throw to first, and that retires the side. Atlanta goes in order in the second. Brandon Crawford leads off for the Giants. No score early at AT&T.
San Francisco, which means I had to do some exploring this morning, and I went to one of the coolest places I've ever been to in my life. It's called the Musée Mécanique, that is meaning mechanical museum. It's a 20th century interactive museum with penny arcade games and fisherman's wharf. There's over 300 mechanical machines and games. There's music boxes, coin-operated fortune tellers, video games, pinball machines, everything you can think of. My favorite, the baseball games. They had some incredible games that you could play over there. I was not good, but you can see there, I think I singled in that one, guys, but it was a lot of fun. One of the biggest privately owned collections of these things in original working condition. So I recommend anybody that's coming to San Francisco to check that out.
That was really neat. And I love seeing those baseball games too. And those guys that were dancing remind me a lot of Chip. I've seen him on the dance floor.
You know it, bro. Here's Crawford. Skies one toward left. Long run, Kemp. Not going to get there. I think Crawford just hit the ambulance. An opposite field home run for Brandon Crawford. He will skip around the bases, and the Giants have struck first on a solo home run.
I don't know how many he usually hits to the opposite field, but this was pretty impressive. Got that out front, slice it down the line, 339 to the pole, and right into the tunnel, as Chip said, right by the ambulance.
So the Giants strike first. They lead 1-0 for Connor Gillespie. Played third base here last night. Felt a late scratch about 30 minutes before first pitch with a sore neck. And with an off day for Buster Posey, Gillespie gets a chance to move across the diamond. This one's popped up. Dansby Swanson at shortstop is there and makes the play for the first out of the inning.
Home runs have not been a problem for Mike Foltynewicz in recent starts. He'd only given up 2 in his last 5 and 4 in his last 9 prior to that home run by Crawford. But shake it off. Get 2 more outs. Get your offense back up there. Don't worry about that.
This is the second time we've seen Eduardo Nunez. The first time we've seen him in a Giants uniform. Remember, he was the starting shortstop for the Twins when we saw Minnesota up at Target Field. He was an all-star with Minnesota, hitting .230 since putting on the Giants uniform. A homer, 9 RBIs, a .230 average. Those are his overall numbers between Minnesota and San Fran.
He got off to a decent start once he was acquired, and after they had traded Duffy to Tampa Bay for Matt Moore. But it's been his recent work where he has scuffled and he split time with Gillespie at third base, including an 0 for 8 that he's working on right now.
That's popped over the Braves dugout. That's headed for the seats and out of play. Another 0-2 count. Braves and Giants don't hit a lot of home runs. The Braves have hit the fewest. The Giants have hit the second fewest total of homers in the National League. Crawford's 105th for San Francisco, though, has paced them and puts them in front to third, where Garcia stabs and makes the throw for the second out. Here's our first look at Trevor Brown, the catcher in the series. Trevor's a California kid, lives in Valencia, California. The Giants picked him in the 10th round of the 2012 draft. He's out of UCLA, where he spent most of his time as an infielder. He did do some work behind the plate for the Bruins.
His career high in the minor leagues at any stop or any combination of stops was 3. He's hit 5 already for the big club in limited playing time.
So he's been a nice, capable, dependable backup for Buster Posey. As Fultonevich lets loose a 2-2 pitch and a beauty. Struck him out. Second strikeout for Mike, but not before Brandon Crawford led off the second with a solo home run. They are dancing in the aisles of AT&T Park. The Giants have struck first. They lead 1-0. And we head to the third. Dansby Swanson will lead things off. And takes downstairs. The kid's had a good road trip, 5 hits. 3 multi-hit games in the first 8 he has played. 1 for 7 so far in this series. 6 up, 6 down. 24 consecutive scoreless innings twirled by the Giants, as Suarez tries to add to that with a 1-0 lead. For the Giants, the task is very simple. They've got to recover from an awful start out of the All-Star break. They had the best record in the National League at the intermission. This Bochy's teams lost 25 of 38 since the All-Star game. But really, it's there for the taking for the Giants. 20 of their last 34 games are against teams below 500. And they've got 2 series head-to-head left with the Dodgers, including the final 3 regular season games here at AT&T Park.
Those will be huge, don't you think? Dodgers may have Kershaw back by then. I mean, they're hoping they do, certainly by the last series of the year.
It was a perfect storm for Bruce Bochy. They didn't hit, they didn't pitch. Madison Bumgarner has been at times good, but seldom great since the break. But through all that, here they are, only a game and a half out after the Dodgers won today.
That's thanks to a great first half.
Yeah. Full count for Dansby Swanson. Strike 3 outside corner. Well, Corey Blazer's been giving an inch or 2 off the outside corner in the early innings, and that's 7 straight retired by Suarez.
Well, he called Matt Kemp out on one that I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on, that was kind of shaving the outside part. This didn't look even that close. Fox Tracks didn't have that for us, but you could see the way Brown caught that ball, that he was crossing his hand over backhand to receive it. Chase got a raw deal there. Or Dansby, excuse me.
Well, Suarez starting tonight very similarly to how he pitched against the Braves in Atlanta. His first big league start came June 1st. And he had 3. Was it perfect innings?
Yeah, he was 9 up, 9 down.
Well, he walked the leadoff man tonight, but he's since retired 7 straight. He's got the Braves pitcher in a hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that takes care of Fultonevich. 4 strikeouts, 2 in a row, and back to the top. 4-ender Inciarte.
I mean, you got to like the guy. He's made all these spot starts, you know, called up, sent down, called up, sent down. And coming up today, you could understand walking the first guy on 4 pitches after driving up from Fresno last night. But since then, outstanding. Throws hard. He's got 2 different off-speed pitches, a change-up, breaking ball.
And I think you're right. The hitters just can't pick up spin right now.
Well, 1 hard hit ball, and it was a homer, and that's because Crawford got the barrel out there on a pitch ahead the middle of the plate.
To second, and it'll be the end of the inning. 9 in a row retired by Suarez. He leads by a run, and he's coming up second for the Giants in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Leading off the 2nd inning. Braves do not yet have a hit. 25 straight scoreless innings pitched by the Giants. Scorquis Hernandez swings and misses and is down a strike. Told you Hunter Pence is hurting. Gregor Blanco placed on the DL with a right shoulder impingement. So Hernandez with a chance to play. Once it hard back to the mound, and with a bare hand, Foltynewicz guns him out at first.
Took a chance there, picking it up barehanded. He knows he's a fast runner. Maybe he's thinking they had to do that. Another good save by Freddie.
Suarez has a couple of hits, 7 strikeouts and 13 at bats. And he takes a strike. And that one's lined over third and headed for the corner. And Suarez with a double with 1 out.
Tell you what, he's just adding to a long list of good hitting pitchers on this Giants team. And like I said last night, not too often anymore do you see that night's starting pitcher take batting practice the day he pitches, but the Giants do.
Jeff Samardzija hitting 148, Jake Peavy 185, Cueto 109, Bumgarner 174 with 3 homers. And that one all the way to the backstop. Big ricochet and no chance for Flowers, and Suarez at third base on a wild pitch. This is where your second fourth key comes into play for Foltynewicz.
The composure part. Gave up a double to the pitcher and a breaking ball that he pulled almost into span. Regroup. Get the next 2 guys, leave him at third, move on.
Infield comes in for Span, who bounced out to Freeman in the Giants' first. That's dumped over third, but foul into the Giants bullpen.
Yeah.
First big league double for Suarez. He took third on the wild pitch. That's where he stands with one out. And now a ball and a strike.
You know, the inconsistency of this road trip and balls and strikes is striking. And I don't mean that as a pun.
Tyler Flowers is talking. And a bouncing ball. Infield in will save a run. Span can't bring home the pitcher. There's a big out. Now they can back up for Pagan with 2 away.
A couple of things at play there. Speculating that, especially with the pitcher running at third, play in, he's not going to get a good jump. You don't expect him to. He doesn't run all that well. You figure you could make a play and keep him from scoring. The other is, I'm sure Brian Snitker's hearing from his own hitters about how difficult it is to see right now, and might be hard for anybody to elevate a pitch.
Bright sunshine's all but disappeared from the playing surface, but the hitter's background is still brightly lit. As a ball in the dirt is smothered by Tyler, as Angel Pagan bats for the second time. Pagan has 30 hits in his last 22 games. An 87-mile-an-hour high changeup called a strike.
Hey, hot dog!
Pagan had a homer last night. He has been struggling with runners in scoring position lately. And he backed away from that pitch at 98 miles an hour, 2-1 to count.
Pagan's a switch hitter, and his numbers left and right-handed are almost identical. Hitting in the 290s both sides. 5 homers from one side, 4 from the other.
Ripped and foul. Giants as a team are Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot.
Well, if you're having trouble scoring runs, all you got to do is come up with some clutch hits to start making you feel better. 5 for 12 last night.
Mike's going to try to make him 0 for 2 with Pagan. Payoff pitch. And a check swing foul ball. That got a piece of the umpire and whistled back to the backstop.
I think it got a shin guard. But Pagan, his move left-handed, he's already gliding, almost Bryce Harper-like, away from the plate to try to pull something, which he did last night.
Yep.
And he's really falling away.
Bryce Harper, Ichiro Suzuki almost running while they attempt to make contact.
Tell you, that reminded me of that stance, that wide stance, and his knees kind of tucked in there to be a left-handed version of Moises Alou. Remember his stance?
Sure do. Almost knock-kneed. To second. And Fultonevich pitches around the double by the pitcher Suarez. Nothing doing for the Giants. Adonis Garcia leads off the Atlanta fourth. Synovus, the bank of here. Let's check out what's happening down on the farm for the Braves organization.
Well, these are great notes right here. Gwinnett, first place in the International League South. Jet Bradley has been hot, a 1.38 ERA. Mississippi, first place in the Southern League South. Sean Newcomb's been on fire last 4 starts, a 1.52 ERA. And how about Colby Allard, last year's #1 pick? Rome in first place in the South Atlantic League Southern Division. He's 4-0 with a 172 over his last 5 starts. Those guys are on top of things. I hope they all do well in the postseason.
So Brian Snitker and the Braves tonight, down an early run. Adonis Garcia, Freddie Freeman, and Matt Kemp are coming up.
I'm looking for that Rome team to win the league, win the championship. They got the pitching to do it.
Well, the Gulf Coast League Braves have a 6.5 game lead too, due in part to the great work by their DH AJ Przinsky.
He was a great late season addition.
Ground ball to the left side, and that'll sneak through for a base hit. The first hit for the Braves tonight is off the bat of Adonis Garcia. Now, by himself, AJ Przinsky raised the average age of that Gulf Coast League team from 18.6 years to 37.5.
Yeah, it'll do it. Yeah.
Can't wait to hear about the Zaxby's bill after they won the championship the other night that AJ was rumored to pick up. He'll tell us all about it perhaps when we get back home to face the Padres. Here's Freddie Freeman, runner at first with nobody out. And a bounding ball foul.
The only thing that concerned me when he went down there for AJ was that, you know, those are all such young players that they don't have enough ace bandages.
Yes.
But apparently they were able to get him on the field.
One more here in Frisco tomorrow, off Monday. Padres Tuesday night at Turner Field. 0-1 pitch. And that one's jammed and down the right field line. That might turn to gold. It will. It bounces high off the fence. Garcia's on his way to third, and the Braves are going to stop him. Runners are at second and third with nobody out. And Freeman just muscled that ball into right field. And the Braves are in business with a great chance to at least tie this game.
That's exactly right, Chip. He didn't barrel this one up by any means. But how quick is he on that pitch inside? And Hernandez not able to run it down.
So 34 doubles for Freeman now. And here's Matt Kemp, who struck out his first time up. Let's break this scoreless string for the Giants. It's 25 innings.
Got another strike to work with. How about sitting on that off-speed pitch?
Fly ball hammered center. Span on the run. He's at the track. That baby is out of here. A 3-run homer for Matt Kemp.
Or just jump all over the fastball.
Right into the organic beer garden in straightaway center.
And great extension on that. Single, double, homer, 3-1 Atlanta. Let's see where this lands, Chip. Did it go in the kale box? Almost. If that had landed in the kale box out there, that our producer would have passed out. Would have had to hospitalize Brian Woodrum for fear that it was going to somehow restrict the flow of free enterprise on the kale product.
That's exactly right.
That was close.
Right. So that takes care of the Giants' scoreless streak. The Braves won't be shut out a fourth time in 5 games against the Giants, and now they lead 3-1. And this embarrassment of offensive riches for Mike Foltynewicz continues. Braves are scoring a ton of runs for him. He's got an excellent chance to take this one deeper and earn his 7th victory of the year. That one's down the left field line, but it's sliced foul. So this normally loud and raucous crowd at AT&T Park has gotten awfully quiet. They know the Dodgers have already won. And the former Dodger Matt Kemp has hit a home run to straightaway center field to give the Braves a 2-run lead.
He's moved into a tie for 6th place in the league in RBIs with 84 with Addison Russell of the Cubs. You hear all about Bryant and Rizzo. Nobody's paying attention to what kind of year Addison Russell's having.
I don't envy the MVP voters, just when they try to analyze that Cubs team. Full count for Markakis. And popped up. Brown behind the plate, tosses the mask aside. And there's the first out of the inning. Tyler Flowers. Tight game down in Miami tonight. The Padres lead the Marlins 1-0 in the 9th. Miami came back from 6-2 down last night to win. Former Brave Jeff Francoeur had a big game.
Yeah, 3-hit night. He's off to a good start with them. 4 for his last 5. 4 for his first 5 with them.
And fouled away by Flowers. It's 0-2. Got a couple series left with the Marlins. September 12th, 13th, and 14th in Atlanta. September 22nd through the 25th down in South Florida. The Giants, the Cardinals, the Marlins, the Pirates, all fighting for the 2 wild card spots that remain in the National League. All of a sudden the shadows disappeared, and perhaps some of Suarez's deception disappeared too.
Yeah.
Braves have hit him hard here in the 4th. A single, a double, a homer. And strike 3. That's 3 balls that Flowers said were off the plate. Remember, he and Corey Blazer were talking about that while the Braves were in the field.
He's exactly right. It is 3. Kemp, Swanson, and now Tyler. Off the plate.
Well, if Mike Foltynewicz gets those calls, the argument will be less strong for Tyler.
And he didn't last inning with a left-handed hitter up there.
I think that's what we saw down in Arizona. Wasn't Larry Vanover, it was
Rackley.
David Rackley. He missed 28 pitches in his game, and there's an example of what we're talking about. Two balls, no strikes. Foul at the plate. Was it Rackley who was perfect against all the right-hand hitters but struggled against the lefties with his command of the zone?
I think so, but he ultimately missed 24 pitches that night.
It was 24, not 28. I beg your pardon. Three in, 2 outs. No swing. 3-1 count for the Braves second baseman Jace Peterson. Now it's full count. The Giants will have their 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up here in the 4th. Teams that don't hit a lot of homers, well, each team has one tonight. Crawford a solo shot for San Francisco. And Kemp a 3-run blast. And that one's lined over third and headed for left. Got a nice stop. Peterson's going to try for 2. The throw to second is going to be an eyelash late. So the Braves have 3 extra base hits in the 4th inning. Peterson with a hustle double. And he's in scoring position for Dansby Swanson.
That is a great baseball play here by Jace. With 2 out, slicing it away. You know that Pagan's got a long way to go. Look at Jace. He's already got his head down, thinking 2 right out of the box. Make a good throw to get you. And it wasn't good enough. Get the bag in stride and never let up. And even if they pitch around Dansby, even if they walk him and get the pitcher up there, you start with your leadoff man next inning and see what happens.
On instructions from the Giants dugout, Brown out for a chat. That'll allow the Giants pen to start to work. But George Contos just now making his first pitch. And they will intentionally walk Swanson. And the Braves will bring Foltynewicz to the plate here with 2 outs. Very productive Atlanta inning. 8 men will bat.
Jace's base hit. You know, if you're leading off the inning and you get that hit, maybe you're not quite as aggressive because you've gotten the inning started in a good way. But with 2 outs, he went for it, got it. Good hustle.
So a good inning could get even better if Foltynewicz could come through with a hit. He's the 8th man to hit here in the 4th inning. Little fly ball toward right, and that's going to retire the side. Gorkis Hernandez hauls it in, but the Braves have a very profitable 4th inning. A single, a double, and then Matt Kemp with a 3-run homer to center turns the game into the Braves. Park where the Braves lead 3-1 thanks to a Matt Kemp 3-run homer. Matt second, making his 3rd home run since putting on a Braves uniform. He's knocked in 15 runs now in 25 games as a Brave, and that gives Mike Foltynewicz a lead going into the home 4th. Panic, Crawford, and Gillespie, the San Francisco hitters.
Academy Sports and Outdoor Leaderboard, longest hitting streaks in the National League. Chris Bryant with 9, and Inciarte and Panic playing in this game both have 7-game streaks, as does Ben Zobrist.
Mike's been pretty economical tonight.
Yes.
Again, one of your 4 keys, pitch counts.
Through 3 innings in Arizona Monday night, he'd thrown 66 pitches. 42 tonight through 3 innings.
Let's see if Tyler Flowers' complaints with Corey Blazer help Foltynewicz on any close pitches in the inning. At that time, 2 balls and a strike.
Got the lead, shut down inning. First and foremost in Mike's mind, and to do that, you got to start with the first guy.
Right back where it came from. That hit Foltynewicz. Swanson recovers, makes the play, and let's check out Mike. That ball was smoked. He says he's all right. Tyler Flowers in the Atlanta infield will gather behind the mound. Jeff Porter on the top step of the Braves dugout. Not coming out yet, but a solid shot catches the Braves pitcher. But Panic is retired for the first out of the inning.
Well, that's going to leave a mark, but it looked like it got meat, like right on the back of the thigh. Missed the knee. know it hurt. So let's keep an eye on him.
Crawford homered to start the second.
I think I might have gone out there just to ask the umpire if he could throw a pitch or two to make sure he's okay. Breaking ball would say he is.
Rolled over. And Fultonevich. Nice fluid move to first base. No trouble with the legs on that play. That's another good test for him. 2 outs.
There are times when a guy follows through like Mike does, where he falls off the mound, follows through way off to the first base side, that hurts him when a ball is hit back through the middle. Can't field his position. In this particular case, it was a good thing he had his back turned and hit him in the back of the leg.
Two up, 2 down for Connor Gillespie, who popped out to shortstop Dansby Swanson in the second. Nothing right now. The Giants able to eliminate out of Fultonevich's arsenal. Just 51 pitches. And only 17 have missed the strike zone. When he's gotten 2 strikes, he's put away hitters. Not a lot of foul balls.
Hasn't gone to deep counts.
Right.
Looks sharp. Two good change-ups to Gillespie. That was interesting. Did you see Tyler? Tyler wanted that slider down and in, a back foot slider. And the first thing Tyler did was reach back with his right hand and hit Corey Blazer's shin guard to let him know, I need to get in here. See this? I need to get back and give that target.
One-two pitch. Bounce to the right side. Tricky hop, but Chase stayed with it, and the throw to first is in time. Shutdown inning for Mike Fultonevich. He got hit with a batted ball, but no trouble, and we're off to the 5th.
Sports and outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
There's the unmistakable and iconic Golden Gate Bridge, shot from the Presidio today by our terrific Fox Sports photographer, Sean Farber. What a beautiful place to visit if you love photography. You will see anything and everything here in San Francisco.
Absolutely, you will.
Suarez back to work with the top of the order for the Braves coming up. A Matt Kemp homer last inning has given the Braves a 2-run lead. Lined over short. That's headed for the gap in left center. Pagan got to it quickly. Long single for Inciarte, and a good start again for the Braves, this time in the 5th.
See, that might have been with 2 outs, a time where Ender goes for 2 and tries it. But leading off the inning, not the smartest thing to do. He's on base, got the inning started. That was a fastball at 90. I don't know what's happened to Alvarez or Suarez's fastball, but that was kind of an odd pitch.
That might be setting off alarm bells for Dave Urghetti, who makes his way to the mound. And the Giants bullpen is back in action. Javier Lopez and former Brave Corey Guerin. Corey's the right-hander, of course. Atlanta with 3 runs, 5 hits, now has Adonis Garcia coming up. Big swing and a miss for the Braves third baseman, and he's down a strike. There's one more team I forgot to mention in the National League wildcard race, and that's the Mets. I'd be remiss if I didn't point out the fact the Mets are starting to roll. They scored 12 runs today and clobbered the Phillies. Fly ball center. Denard Span drifts over to right center field. He makes the catch. Inciarte faked the tag, and he'll head back to first with 1 man down.
That's where you've got to have help from your fellow outfielders. Denard Span's got to track that ball, but he doesn't have the opportunity to look and see what the base runner's doing. So he needed Hernandez to tell him that Ender was tagging, and that's why he got it in so quickly.
And that's going to be the end of the line for Suarez. He goes 4 1/3. He's allowed 3 Atlanta runs, and the Giants are in their bullpen in the middle innings here at AT&T. Freddie Freeman's coming up, and he will face left-hander Javier Lopez.
Boy, the ageless one. He just turned 39. This will be his 55th game. Doesn't throw hard. Mid-80s. Sinking fastball and a lot of sliders to left-handed hitters. Lives in Sewanee, Georgia now. Born in Puerto Rico.
Freeman rips it foul.
You talk about a guy, though, that what a great acquisition he was from Pittsburgh back in 2010. This is his 6th full season with San Francisco, so about 6.5 years. With the Giants, he's 16-5 coming into this season with a 2.29 ERA. Very dependable, very solid against left-handed hitters.
And a little tapper. Second for 1, first for 2. A move by Bruce Bochy worked perfectly. Freddie Freeman now 2 for 12 against Lopez in his career. That's an inning-ending double play, and we head to home 5th where the Giants trail 3-1. Race in the American League East. They start play a game behind Toronto. Baltimore in 3rd place, 2 games back. Hey, keep an eye on the Yankees. They're only 5.5 games out. And their kid catcher Gary Sanchez, I think, hit another home run. He's got 11.
Did he really?
For New York. Mike Foltynewicz starts his 5th inning with Nunez, Brown, and Gorkys Hernandez. That's taken a little low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Foltynewicz tied him up. And Mike has his 3rd strikeout and his 1st since the 2nd inning.
Fastball was called away. If you throw 96, you can miss your target this far and still get away with it.
Six in a row sent down by Mike. Here's Brown. He struck him out. That ended the 2nd. Madison Bumgarner will pitch for the Giants tomorrow. The Braves have not officially named their starter, but all signs are pointing toward Aaron Blair coming back and pitching here tomorrow. We will join you at 3:30 Eastern Time with Braves Live. First pitch at 4:05, and we will then bid the Giants a fond farewell. A strike to Brown.
What you're going to say it do?
Well, after Kelsey did her French translation of the Puppet Museum.
Yes. Try to stay away from.
That was enough. Yeah, don't want to steal her thunder.
No.
Au revoir, Mr. Brown. 2 strikeouts for Fultonevich, and that gives him 4. Or you could say, asseyez-vous.
Yes, right.
And here's Gorkis Hernandez. I love watching this kid pitch. I'm a big fan of Mike Fultonevich. I think he has all the pitches. And if he can continue, you could probably put your Ford keys up for Mike every single start the rest of this season, and it would be a real barometer for whether he's successful or not.
Well, I think they'd be similar to what was up there tonight. You know, the first 3 innings, having to labor so hard to get through those on many nights, where it cut short how long he goes in, how deep he goes into the game, and just not letting little mistakes distract him.
That was as impressive an inning as Mike has had all year. He breezes through the 5th. He sent down 8 in a row, and he leads 3-1.
Matt Kemp leading off, who has played a lot of games here with the Dodgers and the Padres. And you know, the Giant fans, they don't love him. And I talked to him yesterday. He said it's all fun and games. It's part of baseball. But after he hit that home run, he came back into the dugout and said to one of the coaches, I think I just made it a lot worse for myself out there. He said, but at least I'll feel good standing there. So I know he's getting an earful from the fans out in left field.
I think he could handle that, Kelsey. I think he could handle that just fine, making it worse for himself when he does what he did on that drive to center field. That was awesome.
I'm really not sure what the Giants are more upset about, the fact that Kemp killed that baseball or nearly killed the strand of bib lettuce out in the garden.
Yeah, that again.
George Contos, the 3rd pitcher for San Francisco.
Because we are in California.
Oh, nice. One ball, no strikes.
Thanks, Charlene. If Charlene laughed at that, she'll laugh at anything.
Foul back to the screen. An even count, and Kemp got all of this one in the 4th.
Now he's trying to get him to look for something off speed. He wasn't having that. Fastball smoked to center field, accounting for all of the Braves' runs. George Cantos, high 80s, low 90s. A lot of cutters, slider that you just saw there. Just a .202 batting average against Cantos.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Cantos out of Lincolnwood, Illinois. Got him from the Yankees for Chris Stewart back in April of 2012. .73 outings last year with a good ERA of 2.33. And a bouncing ball out of play, foul. A couple of big Braves fans watching us north of the border in Canada tonight. Heather Irely and Suzanne Bergeron. Fired up that Matt Kemp put the Braves in front. And that 17 road homers has quieted the AT&T Park crowd.
That's very impressive.
Full count. Cantos got a great education. He went to Northwestern. And the wind really picking up and whipping toward left. A crisp, cool night. A refreshing night. Here in San Francisco, 7:30 local time. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Kemp's retired, and that's how the Atlanta 6th gets started.
Our good friend Lee Elder, who scouts for the Giants, we see him in Atlanta quite a bit, watching the Braves at Turner Field. He would probably tell you that he's responsible for that pitch selection and how to pitch Kemp, as opposed to someone else's responsibility on the homer.
Fly ball to right, and Cantos will win the Battle of Greece here in the 6th inning. Markakis is retired for the 2nd out of the inning. And Tyler Flowers, the batter, he's 0 for 2. Reds are thumping Arizona 13-0 tonight. San Diego held on to beat Miami 1-0. Down at Marlins Park. That was Clayton Richard and Jose Urania for Miami.
Richard went 7 innings.
Base is empty for Tyler Flowers. And a swing and a miss. We'll see how the Giants play it. The pitcher spot is due first for them in the bottom of the inning. Chris Bochy might have a short bench tonight. Don't know if Hunter Pence is available to pinch hit. Belt was a late scratch with a bad neck. So we'll wait and see. One ball, 2 strikes. Now this crowd starts to make some noise. And a fly ball headed for right center field. That's going to get down and roll to the 421 mark. Flowers on his way to 2nd with 2 outs. He has a double.
And he's hit a bunch of doubles on this trip already. He had a couple of 3 in Arizona. And then he hit it to the spot in the ballpark that nobody wants the ball hit to if you're a pitcher, and that's out there As you said, in that deep triangle, Hernandez was able to cut it off and maybe save an extra base. But still, Tyler with a double.
Another run would be nice. Let's see if Jace Peterson will get a chance to hit. The answer is no. They'll take the bat out of his hands and get after Dansby Swanson. So one more wide one, and the Braves will have 2 on with 2 outs. Dansby took a called third strike that appeared to be off the plate back in the Atlanta third. He was intentionally walked in the fourth. And now a chance to do some 2-out damage.
This guy's slider, you got to think about up the middle or maybe to right field unless he hangs one. And that was his cutter. So everything is pretty much cutting away from you as a right-handed batter. That was a really good pitch, well located. Kind of have the same approach that Tyler had when he split the gap.
Little looper into right field. That's going to get down for a hit. They're going to wave flowers. Hernandez's throw is on the money, and Tyler is out by 6 feet. With the pitcher coming up, why not take a chance there?
Exactly right, Chip. Take a chance. Make him make a good throw, even with a slow runner.
So a base hit by Dansby Swanson, but a perfect throw and catch erases Tyler Flowers, and we head to the home 6th. Still a 3-1 game. Here at AT&T Park. I especially like that guy's hat.
That is an awesome World Championship hat. Plus, if you play it right out there in McCovey Cove, you might catch a baseball in the flag trophy hat. That is a great invention right there. Who says the paddle wheeler's dead?
Beautiful. 3-1 game. We head to the home sixth. And Ari Adrianza is going to pinch hit for George Contos. He gave up a couple of hits, no runs in his inning of relief. So Adrianza takes a strike from Fultonevich. Mike has pitched to beauty so far. He's struck out 4. He's set down the last 8. And as you see, just 67 pitches. Popped up. Who wants it? It's Freddie Freeman who makes the play. Garcia was there, Flowers was there, and Freddie took over and made the catch. See what Fultonevich did there? Pointed to the sky and got the heck out of the way.
Yeah, and was the traffic cop, which is what the pitcher's supposed to do. Again, I go back to what he did in Arizona. 68 pitches, and it took him 66 to get through 3 innings Monday night.
2 ground outs for Denard Span tonight. 1 to first, 1 to second. And a line drive on the first pitch. Snaps Mike's 9-in-a-row streak of hitters retired. And that will bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Angel Pagan.
It's a good pitch. He's down. Down and away.
I was talking with Tyler Flowers about the Braves staff down in Arizona, and he mentioned Mike specifically with his comments. Sometimes you have to give credit to the hitters. That was a good pitch. Span just beat him on that play. See if Mike lets that bother him with a dangerous hitter up there in Pagan, whom he's retired twice. That one got away from Flowers. A wild pitch. Second one of those in the game.
From up here, that did not look that bad. Just tried to reach over and backhand it as opposed to sliding over to get in front of it. I realized he was set up away and the pitch came in. And certainly Tyler has seen his share of those on this road trip.
A hit means a run for the Giants. Pagan with 43 RBIs. And a fan from Livermore, California, just made a great leaping catch.
Livermore, isn't that where Randy Johnson's from?
Exactly right. Now a 2-1 count. Bounty ball to third. Adonis looks the runner back, and the throw to first in time. That was a nice play and a great result. 2 outs.
We've been talking tonight about Pagan really falling away from the plate as he's swinging. And here was a pitch that looked like up and away. And it was. And that's about all he could do with it. When he's falling away, all he's got are his arms to kind of swat at it a little bit.
Panics the man that hit that line drive off Mike's leg last time up. And a fly ball, shallow right center field. It's going to be caught, and that retires the side. Mike Foltynewicz gives up a hit and a wild pitch, nothing else. He leads by 2 as we go to the 7th inning. T Park in San Francisco. Can't wait to get back home when we'll join you for Chipper Jones Bobblehead Day, presented by Grady Hospital. The first 20,000 fans will get a Chipper Jones 2000 All-Star Game bobblehead Saturday, September 10th, when, of course, the Mets are in town. We hope you'll make your plans to join us at Turner Field. Dave Greshner is the Giants trainer. That's Brandon Belt getting some heat packs applied to a sore neck that knocked him out of tonight's starting lineup.
This is Derek Law making his 53rd appearance. Great numbers, including a save. 4-2 with a 1.98 ERA. 9 walks to 46 strikeouts.
And he took care of Mike Foltynewicz on 3 pitches. Mike is 0 for 3. And that's how the 7th inning starts. Law, like so many others, is a Tommy John surgery veteran. Giants took him in the 9th round in 2011. He's out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh. Law.
Vernon Vance.
Vance. I wonder if he's related. Low to mid-90s fastball. Good curveball, as we saw in a slider.
Do you like facing guys that have that dramatic hip and shoulder turn like he has?
I don't remember too many guys doing this, but the Giants have a roster of them. I don't know if they all adopted it from Johnny Cueto or what, but they sure do try to deceive you, especially when they use it for their breaking ball. When you start thinking you got to jump at their motion, and then they drop breaking ball on you. Quick pitch. Didn't use the big turn. He just started into it and then right after him.
Derek is related to a former professional baseball player named Law. But it's Joe Law, who spent 9 years in the A's farm system and 4 days on the major league roster. Bouncing ball to the left side. Crawford surrounds and loads up and just did get into Inciarte. 2 outs. Joe Law, Derek's dad, spent 4 days on the A's roster. He once got the signal to start warming up, sat back down. He never unbuttoned his satin jacket again, then or ever. So the story goes.
That's too bad. But he got a taste of it anyway.
Yep. And you know, his dad's thrilled to death at his son's success here with the Giants. Adonis takes a strike.
Well, already we've seen about 3 different windups from Derek Law. I guess that is part of his success this year, is the deception. Provided he can throw strikes with it. And it seems like he can. See that quick move, that quick pitch, stride and pitch is really effective when you throw a breaking ball, because you're almost trying to accelerate your stride and your hands to get in tune with his motion.
And the way this game has gone for Bruce Bochy, it might be a new pitcher every inning after Suarez went 4 1/3. Almost a bullpen game, you might say. And he has the luxury of knowing Madison Bumgarner's in his back pocket for tomorrow afternoon. So we'll see how it works out. 3-1 Atlanta. The pitch is back to the mound. And the flip to first will retire the side. 7th inning stretch on another gorgeous Saturday night in San Francisco. Mike Foltynewicz and the Braves in front.
Your local Ford dealer, the Home Depot, and Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Alcatraz, the Transamerica building, and beautiful downtown San Francisco. What a city. And what a gorgeous night, where the Braves lead 3-1 heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. The only man to touch the plate for San Fran tonight is the man that leads off, Brandon Crawford. This is a big start for Foltynewicz for a couple of reasons. Number one, he's doing more good work on the road, but number two, he's finally into the 7th inning as a starter. It's been a while for him. Sharply hit past Freddie Freeman and headed for the right field corner. Crawford's on his way to second, and that's where he'll stop with nobody out.
Freddie was guarding the line a little bit here and might have been upset with himself. basically for being over there close to the bag. This normally would have been a line drive right at him, like a hanging breaking ball. That'll get the Braves bullpen busy. Mike's season high is 8 innings. That was at Kansas City back on May 14th. 8 innings of 7-hit shutout ball.
Connor Gillespie's 0 for 2. Crawford at second with nobody out. And downstairs.
And for Mike here at this point, he's got a 2-run lead. And Kroll begins to loosen up. So the guy at second base is important, but not at the expense of working on the guy at the plate who's the tying run. You got to make sure that tying run guy doesn't get on.
The other thing that complicates matters too is as the lineup card moves down toward the bottom in the pitcher spot, Buster Posey's lying in wait. Bruce Bochy can use him wherever he wants here in the final 3 innings.
And maybe even Pence too.
1 ball, 1 strike as we approach 8 o'clock local time. Here it is. Swinging a line drive to right. Markakis is there. He makes the catch and no advance by Brandon Crawford. That ball was hammered.
Now there is a line drive where the guy was positioned exactly where you needed him to be. So that was a good trade-off.
So here's Nunez. This is the first time Fulte's gotten an out in the 7th inning since July 16th.
A couple of starts right around the All-Star break, right? One just before and one after.
Correct. The one against the White Sox was the 10 strikeout no walk game right at the break. Way outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Something Brian Snitker has talked about a lot with this young staff, learning how to work your way through a lineup 3 times in a game. Mike's right in the middle of his 3rd trip through the Giants batting order. Bouncing ball left side. Garcia makes the play, fumbled for a moment, but still had time to get Nunez. Great play, 2 out.
Boy, it was outstanding, and he didn't give up on it. That's another one of those plays we were talking about last night when Gillespie was kind of cutting in front of Brandon Crawford. Well, you want the third baseman to take anything he can get to. It was just the transfer to the hand wasn't real smooth, and he still got it because he's got a terrific arm.
Did you see what happened behind the play right there? Dansby Swanson went to third base just in case Crawford thought about moving to third after the spin and throw to first. Something subtle, but it was the right play.
It's up.
So 2 quick outs. And here's Brown, the catcher. And he takes a strike. Trevor's 0 for 2. Fultonevich has struck him out looking twice.
Quick pitch there from Mike. Talked about the 3rd time through the order. Chip, here it is. That's been a real struggle for him.
I would assume, though, the difference is by the time he gets there, he's had another 25 pitches.
Yeah, he's over 100 pitches typically. He's still got some gas working. Real steady all night long.
One ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. What a way to work out of 7th inning trouble. A line out, a ground out, and a strikeout, and Fulte's through 7 in San Fran with a 3-1 lead. Leads 3-1 with 3, 4, and 5 coming up for Atlanta here in the 8th inning. Time for our Home Depot tools from the dugout. The 7th inning and later has been a very interesting time of late for the Braves.
Well, we've been talking a lot about how the Braves have given all these teams a real finish and a real challenge, forcing opposing managers to sometimes go to their closer when they never envisioned that they were going to have to. That's because of the late inning rallies by the Braves in games where they were really down. Tied for the most runs from the 7th inning on in the last 17 games. Now it's up to the pitchers tonight to fix that last line and not allow any more.
This is Will Smith. They got him from the Brewers. He's the Sharpsburg, Georgia native, you might recall. Times have been a little tough for Will out here on the West Coast. Last year, Smith was terrific for Milwaukee. In fact, 2 real good years in a row, 78 and 76 appearances in back-to-back seasons. Last year, 7 wins, 2 losses, a .270 earned run average, and an astounding 91 strikeouts in 63 in the 3rd innings. Fly ball hammered center. Span going back, still going. He's going to get there shy of the track. One out. Matt Kemp is our Toyota key play of the game.
And that's key because all the Braves runs came on this swing of the bat. 3-run shot to straightaway center off of Alvarez, the starter.
A standing boo greets Matt Kemp, who hits with 1 out. This is the first time we've seen Will Smith since last May. You might recall the Braves caught Will Smith with about 8 pounds of pine tar on his left hand, or on his right hand, excuse me. And he was ejected from the game. Wasn't happy about it, but it was so obvious that the Braves had no choice but to have the umpire check it out. The 3rd will take care of Kemp.
That was on his forearm. Remember, it was a little shiny on his forearm.
Yeah, he was suspended 8 games and then had that reduced to 6 games in the 2nd week of June. But he's a talented kid. And he is the 4th reliever to work tonight. 2 up, 2 down.
He's a great compliment to Lopez. Lopez is kind of a left-handed specialist to get out of jams, which is what he did tonight, getting the double play ball. Will Smith more of a full inning or an inning plus guy who throws hard and has a good slider and curveball.
Smith was originally an Angel. Casey Kochman's dad, Tom Kochman, signed him. Then the Royals got him. Milwaukee acquired him from Nori Aoki. And now he's here with the Giants. Brad Hange of the Braves Media Relations Department has made it official. We speculated that Aaron Blair would be starting tomorrow. That will indeed be the case. Blair versus Bumgarner at 4:05 Eastern Time.
Aaron might like a little payback. He and Bumgarner hooked up earlier this year, back in late May.
Bumgarner had a big game, double-digit strikeouts, and he hit a home run. 0-2 for Markakis, and up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Eighth inning in game 2. That's not as close as Brown made it look. 2-2. Little pop hit towards second. Panic drifts back, and that'll take care of Markakis. Smith 3 up, 3 down. 8, 9, and 1 coming up for the Giants. Mike Foltynewicz leads 3-1. To dust off your lederhosen and join us for our Oktoberfest on Thursday, September 29th.
Dust off my what?
Lederhosen. They're kind of like German suspenders.
Yeah, I thought this was kind of personal.
If you wear your lederhosen, you get a ticket to one of the last games at Turner Field, a limited edition Oktoberfest frozen beer stein, admission into the pregame party, and 1 drink voucher. Braves.com/Oktoberfest, the place to go.
Sounds like a good time. Speaking of having a good time, Mike Foltynewicz tonight has gone to a 2-0 count twice. He's gone to a 3-2 count once.
What a difference. Ground ball to second. And you throw strikes. Your defense is on its toes. They make plays. You get easy outs.
And that goes to, that's, what was the count there?
0-2.
0-2. That is the 13th out of 26 batters that he's had a 3-pitch at bat or less. Quick outs.
So Bruce Bochy will go to his bench. Sore neck and all, Brandon Belt will grab a bat with 1 out in the 8th. Remember, they have Posey and Pence working too. Overpowered him with a fastball, and look at that velocity. Here he is at 90 pitches, and threw that one at 98 to a man that's hit him before.
Yeah, he's had some good luck against Mike Foltynewicz, but that was with a good neck. 4 for 9, 2 homers.
Is this the guy they call the giraffe?
Yes.
Fans have an affinity for animal nicknames. Remember the Kung Fu Panda? Pablo Sandoval? Now you've got the sore-necked giraffe.
Well, praying mantis, not exactly an animal, but
2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases empty. 3-1 Atlanta. Strike 3 call. Perfect pitch.
a little backdoor action on that one. 6 strikeouts.
A lot of head shaking from the Giants hitters tonight. 2 outs. Here's Span, who singled last time up. That was a 1-out hit. Pulte stranded him. Crawford doubled to start the 7th. He was left stranded. And this one's inside the bag, fair by Denard Span. Span hit a pitcher's pitch for his 6th inning single. This one he just put in play, and it stayed fair for him down the line. That's a 2-out double.
The only thing that helped him was that it was up. Tyler Flowers won that down and away, but it stayed up enough where he could reach it and keep it fair.
The Braves bullpen is working, but Foltynewicz has 2 outs. And Angel Pagan, the batter, with a strikeout and 2 ground outs. Cole and Cabrera are ready. And so is Foltynewicz with his first pitch to Pagan.
The Giants have 5 hits tonight. 2 by Span, where he just kind of stuck the bat out there, and 2 by Crawford that were both hit well, and the other one by the starting pitcher.
Mike has been excellent. 1-1 pitch, and then he dropped the changeup.
See, that worked just like the one that Law was throwing a while ago with the quick pitch, the slide step, and then a breaking ball. That had Pagan so far out on his front foot and so pulling so far off the plate that there's no way he could reach it.
So what do you throw him now? 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Something down and away again.
That wasn't a comfortable pitch to avoid.
I'm glad it missed him.
Now at second, 2 outs, 2-2 count. Missed with a high changeup. Now it's full.
No, just the 2nd full count of the night. And this pitch will dictate whether or not he stays in the game or not.
The crowd will tell you the story.
Showing you something too of getting nailed by that line shot by Panic in the 4th inning. He has shown no ill effects from that rocket that got off the back of his leg.
Again, a 3-2 pitch.
Spoiled a good pitch. Get over breaking ball. I'll make sure he threw it for a strike, and Pagan got a piece of it.
What a battle.
Mike thought he had that by him. This reminds me a little bit of that hot day in Washington where he was finishing up with just whatever he had left in the tank and just airing it out. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming.
Big league baseball right here. 3-2 pitch. And it missed inside. Big time walk for Pagan. And Brian Snitker is on his way out. And that'll be the end of the line for Mike Foltynewicz. Pagan with a 9-pitch at bat coaxes a 2-out walk.
First walk by Mike in 2 starts.
So Mauricio Cabrera is going to come on. Foltynewicz departs. Man, oh man, was he good tonight. 7 2/3 of 1-run baseball. Up to the moment, at any moment with Game Day, live game videos, StatCast news and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and your tablet. So no rest for the weary. The Giants go from Mike Foltynewicz to the blazing arm of Mauricio Cabrera with 2 on and 2 out in a 2-run game in the 8th.
And don't think for a second Mr. Panic doesn't know about the fastball.
One ball, no strikes. The interesting choice here for Brian Snitker. He had Ian Cole, the left-hander, ready to go as well.
It's kind of hard to get away from 101, 102, Chip. And how about that? An 89-mile-an-hour changeup for a strike to even the count.
Big lead by Span at second. Pagan the same at first. And a bouncing ball slowly hit. Cabrera can't get it. Freeman did. Flip to the pitcher. Covering the bag and in time. And that retires the side. A slow roller handled by the Braves defense. And we head to the 9th inning. Atlanta doing everything very well tonight. Excellent pitching, defense, and a Kemp homer as the Braves on the verge of tying this series at a game apiece.
Dealers, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. And Synovus, the bank of here.
Mike Foltynewicz had a great night tonight. 7 2/3 innings of 5-hit, 1-run baseball. 103 pitches. He's got a shot to pick up his 7th win. That is that the Braves bullpen can continue to throw up zeros tonight. Tyler Flowers worked well in tandem with Foltynewicz behind the plate. He's going to lead off the 9th against Sergio Romo, who's had an injury-plagued 2016 campaign.
Yeah, he's missed 77 games with a flexor tendon problem in his elbow.
First pitch is skied toward left center field. Pretty well hit. Look at that ball carry out to the warning track. That looked like a can of corn off the bat, but it just kept going and going. But there's the first out.
Wind blowing out that way, too, probably helped it a little bit. Sergio Romo has not pitched in the last 8 days. They're really being careful with him. But that snapped a streak of his last 11 consecutive outs were by strikeout. Slider, slider, and more sliders. Was their closer a couple of years ago when they won the World Championship. Setup man a few years before that for Brian Wilson.
Now it's Santiago Casillas closing most of the games for the Giants.
It's a shame too. This guy is really popular here.
Your closer to pitch big in postseason play, don't you? World Series record for Sergio Romo. 6 career games, 0 runs, 0 walks, 10 strikeouts.
That is outstanding.
He's gone 3-0 to Jace Peterson. And a 4-pitch walk. A little insurance wouldn't hurt, as Dansby Swanson is going to stand in. Hope you'll join us at Turner Field Saturday, September 17th. We honor legendary skipper Bobby Cox with the Bobby Cox carried off bobblehead. The first 20,000 guests with us at Turner Field will receive that wonderful memento presented by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. Dansby on base a couple of times tonight. 6 hits on the road trip to this point.
Got Gordon Beckham in the on deck circle to hit for Cabrera. So you've got something you could do here if you wanted to try something with 1 out, hit and run, maybe even a straight steal. Dansby did not even flinch a muscle on that slider thrown right at him.
A good swing on that one too. 1-1 strike. Matt Kemp's home run in the 4th inning turned around a 1-0 Giants lead. Brandon Crawford led off the 2nd with a home run right down the left field line that almost hit the ambulance. That's the only run the Giants have scored tonight. Braves have hit him 7-5. Each club has left 5 on base. Runner goes, pitch out. The throw is snagged by Crawford, who came sprinting in front of the bag. He was able to catch the ball and apply the tag all in one motion. Nice play. And Jace Peterson's thrown out.
It was not a good throw. It was a great catch and tag by Crawford. Well done by the Gold Glove shortstop.
So 2 outs, 2 balls and a strike. And the base is empty. Pitch. Fly ball hit toward left. Pagan retreats. And Romo is out of 9th inning trouble. Last call for the Giants. They'll have the middle of their order coming up against Jim Johnson. He'll try to nail it down next.
Baseball is sponsored by Bank of America and Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Time for the bottom of the 9th inning. It's 3-1 Atlanta in front. And Jim Johnson, the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Braves, will try to earn save number 13.
Well, this first batter is going to be critical. And because if Crawford gets on, you've got 3 hitters, Gillespie, Nunez, and Brown, that Buster Posey could pinch hit for any of the 3, especially the catcher, Brown. If Posey's going to hit, make him hit with nobody on.
Jim Johnson has been a hit for the Braves. He is rolling in relief. Jim has struck out at least 1 hitter in 15 straight games. And since coming back from the disabled list, 2-2, a 1.56 ERA and 12 saves. Little roller, tough play. Swanson playing deep, gloves, grabs, throws, and got him by a step.
Way to go, kid. No margin for error there. Had to field it cleanly and make the transfer cleanly.
So that keeps Buster Posey anchored to the bench for at least 1 more hitter. Gillespie's 0 for 3. He's popped out, grounded out, and lined out. Ball 1. Down the line and foul. Braves Live, presented by Xfinity, is coming up after our game. Andre Aldridge standing by in our Atlanta studios. Braves are trying to split this series at a game apiece with a rubber match potentially tomorrow. Blair and Bumgarner.
Boy, that's been a good pitch for Jim. That slow off-speed curveball that he has been dropping in there for strikes. A lot of times on the first pitch of an at-bat, when the hitter's kind of geared up for a fastball, and it's been a great weapon.
That took a bite out of Tyler Flowers at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Doubled up on it that time.
Now it's 2-2. Up the middle. Dansby to his left. Perfect play, 2 outs.
Didn't rush himself on that one. He knew he had a little bit of time. Got his feet under him. Good throw.
And Nunez, the final hope for the Giants. He's grounded out to third twice. He struck out once. Braves are trying for their 20th comeback win. Giants scored first in the second, 3 on a Kemp homer for Atlanta in the 4th, and Mike Fultonevich, Mauricio Cabrera, and Jim Johnson have made it stand up. Buster Posey is on deck, but for him to hit, Nunez would have to reach. Slow roller back to the mound. Jim's got it. The throw to first in time, and Mike Fultonevich and the Braves have beaten the Giants by 3-1.